Hello. So I am bringing you in today to talk about the child's brain and the way it's developed in utero. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of information before you get into the whole process of getting ready to have this baby. Okay, so in the first trimester, 16 days after conception, the fetus neural plate is formed, which is the foundation of the baby brain and the spinal cord. So this grows and folds into itself until it morphs into a groove, then a tube, which is considered the neural tube. And once that neural tube is closed at 6 to 7 weeks of the pregnancy, it curves and bulges into three sections. So the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. So rear of that hindbrain is soon to be the baby's spinal cord, which bubbles into our five different regions. So it's the cerebellum, the cerebrum, the brainstem, the pituitary gland, and the hypothalamus. These fetal brains need more time to be fully developed, though. So over time, they'll be more and more developed. Special neural cells form and migrate through the embryo, the very beginnings of the nerves, which is made of millions of neurons at this point. Once we get into more mature bodies, we have more along the lines of billions of neurons. Um, Having branches come off, and then there's having branches come off that communicate with each other. So those are considered our first synapse. All that means is neurons can communicate and create early fetal movement. So, for example, curling into a fetal position, also wiggling limbs at 8 weeks, and at the same time developing a sense of touch. Although a lot is being developed, you will not be able to feel much at this point still because it's still really early. Um, so now we approach the second trimester, and at this point, the baby is learning to suck, to swallow, it's blinking, and it's developing dreams and sleeping and REM sleep and all that. So, to begin with, there's a steady contraction of the baby diaphragm and chest muscles. Um, all that means is it's practicing breathing. Um, the first sucking and swallowing impulses happen around at 16 weeks. Then we go to 18 weeks. You'll experience around that time the first kick, um, but it can take a little longer, which is common in first-time moms. Um, baby baby nerves are covered in myelin, which all that means is it's almost like an insulation, and this speeds up messages between nerves until the first birthday of the baby. And then we go to 21 weeks into the pregnancy. Natural reflexes allowed to swallow ounces of amniotic fluid every day. So this is the baby developing its taste. And then we go to 24 weeks. Blinking starts to be developed. So blinking, you start to see blinking occurring. And at the tail end of the second trimester, brainstem, which is responsible for heart rate, breathing, and then the blood pressure, is almost mature, resting above the spinal cord but below the cerebral cortex. Excuse me, which is the last area to mature. Uh, the baby nervous system can hear loud noises outside of the womb, and it can turn its head toward the sound of your voice. And then at 28 weeks, we skip a little bit forward. The fetal brainwave activity features sleep cycles, so REM, and then this is where the baby actually develops the ability to dream. And yeah, so now we move on to the third trimester. So there's a rapid development of neurons and wiring. So now it gets a little bit more complicated, and the brain starts to develop um, quite rapidly, and it actually triples in weight during the last 13 weeks of gestation. It grows from 3.5 ounces at the end of the second trimester to 10.6 ounces at the term. Then the cerebellum, which is responsible for motor control, is also developing pretty fast, faster than any other area in the brain. Um, so it increases until 30-fold in the last 13 or 16 weeks of pregnancy. The cerebral cortex is also developing, which this is your thinking, your remembering, your feeling. This, in addition, is developing rapidly, but starts to function when the baby's full term and born, and gradually matures the first few years of its life. Um, that concludes my explanation of uh, the child's brain and developing in utero. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call, or if you have any questions, just let me know. All right, have a nice day, guys.